Maybe when you clicked on the title of this video, you weren't quite sure what to expect. After all, what is a unison approach note? Isn't that kind of redundant? How can you approach a note that you're already on? Let me show you. That's how you do it. I guess you could call it a slide or some sort of technique. I like calling it a unison approach because you are approaching, again, a unison note. And the approach can come from either behind or in front. Typically, I like to execute from behind the note, so like a slide, quick slide up. But this is an extremely expressive technique, and it's something that I've noticed a lot of guitar players do it, but it's something that's really evident in my own guitar playing, and I've noticed it. It just really is a punctuation on a lot of my phrases. So when I am noodling through from one area to another on the guitar neck, I find myself doing this thing all the time. So I want to show you how to do it, and maybe it'll expand your vocabulary and make you a bit more expressive in your guitar playing. So for some context, let's just take the B minor tonality. Now we're going to start in this kind of meaty pentatonic box that we're used to, and then we'll throw in some other unison approach notes depending on where we are in our phrasing. But just to keep things simple, get the concept down, I am attacking a note at the end of a phrase, and then I'll typically use a different finger. Usually my index finger is the one that's approaching the note. So if I land on a note, say this B note on the D string, with my ring finger, I'm going to approach it with the index finger to give it this kind of nuance that is really identifiable and I think sounds really expressive. Let's put it into context. Let's try another one. So you can hear how, even if you're not watching me play, you can hear kind of the erratic notes that are really engaging the listener, but then that sweet finish that is the unison approach. And really it makes me play kind of more cinematically and dramatically, like you kind of saw how it was standard guitar playing, I guess you could say, but then when I came to that ending, that punctuation on the phrase with the unison approach, I kind of became more like Steve Vai-ish, or just really engaging visually. So again, it really comes down to how often you throw it in. Throwing it in places that are either bridges from one phrase to the next, or how I prefer to use it, which is to kind of punctuate, put an exclamation on whatever musical word or sentence that you just said. So if you want to practice this, if you've never tried it before, start slowly. Start with like a 5-note phrase, real simple. On that 5th note, that's where we're going to insert, and this is going to be a quick movement even though we're starting it slow. Really want to emphasize the quickness of this technique, or else it's not really going to have the same effect. So 5 notes. And if you notice, another subtle element to this technique is I am not attacking the unison approach note. It is a hammer from nowhere, essentially. So I'm not going necessarily. It can happen from time to time, but to learn the technique, I recommend building up a little finger strength and actually not attacking the unison approach note. It gives it a little bit more of an ethereal kind of liquid effect, which I think is really neat. So the unison approach note, I definitely recommend inserting it into your guitar vocabulary as just another tool. It's yours. Take it, use it wisely, and until next time, keep shredding.